My name is Gary Brado, and I'm a documentary filmmaker and an entrepreneur. The economy is in less than perfect shape, and when the jobs go away, there's nothing left to do but get up and get creative. And there are people all over America doing just that. It's estimated that up to 85% of new businesses fail. So I'm going coast to coast to hear the personal stories of the people who beat the odds and started a successful business from the ground up. This is Startup.
The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well. In Walsh College's Business Launch entrepreneurial community, consultants provide advice to aspiring business starters. More information available online.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
This is Startup. I'm on Neal Place at the Union Market in Washington, D.C. And we're going to talk to Carolyn, who created Righteous Cheese. Now, Carolyn swore to herself that she would never open a cheese shop. But it looks like this cheesemonger is about to be rolling in cheddar. Let's go hear her story. Following a 2-year downturn, the cheese market is bouncing back steadily, growing at 6.1% in 2011 and reaching total U.S. retail sales of $18.9 billion. The positive trend is expected to continue as consumers take interest in better-for-you options, creative flavors, and their support for sustainability. Caroline, owner and operator of Righteous Cheese, is on the front lines of the cheese marketplace. She believes that every cheese has a story from farm to table. Her passion? To bring these unique and uncommon tastes and flavors to local DC food lovers. I want to know who you are and your history before becoming the Righteous Cheese Queen.
My first word was cheese.
Was it really?
Yeah, it was really.
Was somebody taking a picture?
No, my mom just claims this. She could be making it up. I started getting into food in college. I worked in restaurants. One of the restaurants I worked at had this great, amazing cheese program, and I just, no pun intended, I really devoured it and really got into it. And so the front of the house was responsible for making cheese plates, and some of my coworkers would make the cheese plates not terribly well, so I did everyone's cheese plates. And I ended up serving a cheese plate to one of the owners of Cowgirl Creamery, and I found out they were opening shop here in DC, and I said, I want to work for you. You know, whenever you open, I'll do whatever. I just want to learn about cheese. So I got the opportunity to work for them just part-time for fun.
What did you learn? Where did that take you? Did it just open your mind to new dimensions with cheese, or?
It did. I had no idea. All the questions you're asking me about, you know, what's the difference between all these different types of cheese, I had no idea. I thought I knew about food, and I knew nothing.
You knew nothing?
Yeah. I mean, I think that cheese tells us so much about who we are as people. You know, you go to a town in Italy and they have a cheese that they make during a certain festival every year. And that's what identifies their town. I think it's really interesting.
The United States produced 4,275 metric tons of cheese in 2012. Educate me on this place that we are.
This is an artisan food vendor market. We have a butcher shop that's been operating for years and years and years. We have a couple different local produce vendors and farmers. We have Border Springs Farm, which is a lamb farmer from Southern Virginia. We have Rappahannock Oyster Bar, which is a company that revitalized the aquaculture of the Chesapeake Bay, which is really exciting. Wow. Peregrine Espresso, which has won all sorts of competitions around the country for their coffees and espressos. Leone Bakery, a local bread baker. We have a little local wine shop, a restaurant, a little chocolate shop. So this place is growing all the time.
How do you feel about being in here?
It's a lot of fun. I think, you know, if you look at all the different vendors in here, you know, it's a little something for everybody. You know, it's not like, say you don't eat oysters, you can come here and eat cheese. You don't eat cheese, you go over there and eat meat. You know, it's got everything. It's got everything from like an old school soda bar to a, you know, an Amish dairy farm. You know, it's really a good group of people.
When did you get Righteous?
I started my own business prior to this one, doing more consulting. So I left working for somebody else, which I didn't really love that much, and started out on my own, teaching wine and cheese classes, teaching beer and cheese classes, doing consulting, doing private events. And I was contacted by the owners of this market, and they asked if I wanted to open a cheese shop. And I had never really wanted to before. I had always thought, we have good enough cheese shops in the city, I don't need to do retail. But the whole concept of the market was really exciting to me. I knew a lot of the other purveyors that were opening in here, and I really believed in what they were doing and had a lot of respect for what they made. And then it also gave me the opportunity to open my bar. And at the bar, I thought we can do some really great cheese and wine and cheese and beer pairings and introduce people to something new, like really cool tastes that they haven't had before. And we have here at the shop about 80 or 90 different cheeses, and we're always rotating them. We always have new things coming in. There's so many different types of cheese made around the world that it does take almost a curator to present those to, our public that want to learn and taste new things.
Let's do some cheese.
You want to see how to
Let's do it.
Open a cheese up? Use
Stuff
one
it
hand
in.
to hold the cheese. Yeah, that's fine. And then the other hand just pull back and down. Yep. It's perfect. And then let go.
So I'm a fromager now.
Yes, now you're a fromager.
U.S. per capita consumption of natural cheese increased by 0.36 pounds over the 2010 amount, reaching a level of 33.5 pounds, the second highest amount ever on record.
So we do classes every Thursday for the most part, and every month I vary the theme. We'll do a cheese and wine class one month, and the cheese and beer class the next month, and so on.
Does each individual vendor have to have their own beer and wine license, liquor license, or does it fall under the umbrella of Union Market?
Each individual vendor has to have their own everything, their own certificate of occupancy, their own liquor license, their own health inspection, their own food handlers licenses. Everything is individually, independently run businesses.
What was your total, budget to start this business?
Well, one of the things that I negotiated with my lease was having the landlord do some of the build out. And that was really key for us to not have to do those upfront costs. And then the other thing, because we opened our bar before the retail shop, we didn't have to have quite as much inventory. That was helpful. Initially, I had some friends and family loans. I applied for a bank loan, but the interest was so high, I just couldn't see a way of making it work. And a filmmaker friend of mine had successfully financed a film that he was making and through Kickstarter. And I thought, we might as well give it a shot. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. And if it does, then that's perfect. So I raised about $45,000 through friends and family loans and about $15,000 through Kickstarter. And that gave us a nice cushion.
That's incredible. $60,000 you raised without a bank loan.
Yeah, without a bank loan. It was really amazing, especially with Kickstarter. The unintended result that has been wonderful is seeing the response from the community. People that I didn't know and had never met who wanted a cheese shop in their city, and that was really cool.
How much of a part has your website and social media played in this business?
Social media is even a bigger part of our business than the website is, honestly. Especially with Kickstarter, getting the word out through Facebook and Twitter was amazing. It's incredible to me. Every time I post a photo on Instagram, people respond to it. So that's definitely a way that we've been able to communicate with our customers. They can ask us a question via Twitter and we can answer right away. So that's been really helpful.
What advice do you have for other would-be entrepreneurs out there?
It's really dedicating yourself to always improving what you're doing and never be content with the status quo.
Thank you so much for talking to me. I really appreciate it.
It was a pleasure.
And best of luck with your business. Although it may be okay to have holes in your Swiss cheese, your business plan has to be rock solid. Carolyn took her passion for cheese and she's creating a monster name for herself all around the DC area. For more information, log on to our website and click the link for Righteous Cheese. Visit our website at startup-usa.com and like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. What do you call organic food? What did they call organic food in 1950?
No idea.
Food.
Exactly. Exactly.
American Express is proud to support startup and the millions of small businesses that put in the hard work to be open for business in neighborhoods across the country.
The Chevrolet Volt, an everyday electric car with gas for longer trips. The nature of things to come. Chevrolet, find new roads.
The entrepreneurial spirit is alive and well in Walsh College's business launch entrepreneurial community. Consultants provide advice to aspiring business starters. More information available online.